Tim Pool recently talked about me, and I don't even know what he's talking about. Do you guys want to take a look at it? Let's see. Here it is.
Flip says, will you ever have David Pakman on? Do you agree with anything he says? David is always welcome to come on.
Yes.
And I think David is wrong because I don't think David does
I'm wrong about what?
journalism.
I don't claim to do journalism. I do commentary.
And I don't mean that I don't mean that disrespectfully.
It's not a question of respect, but I don't know what I'm wrong about. Who said I do journalism?
When Dave Rubin told, I think he tweeted AOC.
I like how he says Dave Rubens, like Paul Rubens.
Like, hey, someone on your team who thinks I'm a journalist, please stop sending this to me. He was like, please stop sending me your press releases. And then she responded with, oh, someone must have thought you were a journalist. We'll get you removed promptly. All these leftists were like, oh.
Do you guys know what this is? He confusing Dave Rubin and Dave Pakman? I don't know what the Rubin story has to do with me. He's like, Pakman is wrong because Rubin asked something about AOC.
Dick burn. And it's like, Dave Rubin was never a journalist. He's a comedian.
Do you guys understand how we got from me to Dave Rubin? Does anybody know? I mean, I'm honestly saying, does anybody know how we got to Rubin from me? Nobody knows. Okay. Let's see.
He's a comedian, political commentator.
Yeah.
So he was like, I'm not a journalist. Don't send me these. And they were acting like it was a burn. It just makes no sense. So anyway, what I mean is,
yeah,
there have been, I haven't watched as much of David's stuff as in a while as I used to. But, I mention often how when Ted Cruz correctly cited Politico and the New York Times pertaining to Ukraine meddling in the 2016 election to help Democrats, instead of actually Google searching the stories to see if it was true, David just mocked Trump.
What is he talking about? What is he talking about? When Ted, I mean, I guess it's conceivable I did what he's talking about. I don't remember it. It's also confusing because he's sort of talking about two different people named David, and I think now he's back to me, right? Like I think now he's talking about me, not Rubin. Is that true? Because he was asked about me.
And I'm just like, it's a weird thing because it takes you 5 seconds to do this, to look up the New York Times article that says Ukrainian court rules that, individuals meddled in the election to help Democrats. You can just look that up. It takes you 5 seconds. It's the New York Times. But David didn't even do that.
What is it? I don't even know what he's talking about. I didn't do that when.
So my opinion on David is he's entitled to his opinions on certain things. We have different politics. But
I thought he was on the left. What does it mean we have different? He wasn't his whole thing that he's on the left. How do we have different politics? I mean, I know now he voted for Trump, but
I think over the past several years, he's just his show is based on, look, he provides commentary on the commentary of others. Like,
no, I provide commentary. He almost got it. It's funny. He goes, I was wrong because I'm not a journalist. Like, okay, I didn't tell anybody I'm a journalist. And now he says, I provide commentary on other commentary. No, I provide commentary. That's it. It's not, it's not that difficult to figure out what I'm doing.
Like in that circumstance, he was watching Meet the Press and then commenting on the opinions of Meet the Press instead of doing research. And
my God, guys. Anyway, the reason that I have not talked to Tim Pool in a while, I've said it before, is as with many people, I have private conversations, and I had a private conversation with him about social media marketing. And then he just publicly disclosed the details of that conversation. And it's not so much that the content was concerning or whatever. It's just I thought we were having a private conversation. Like when I have a conversation with Sam Cedar about how are you, marketing your show or whatever, implicitly, I'm not going to then go and say, hey, you guys know what's going on with Sam? It's a private conversation. And when I told him, I said, Tim, that was a private conversation. He just doubled down and said, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in, and what's funny is in order to tell you guys this, I sort of have to describe our private conversation. I understand that, but I think you understand why I'm doing it. He was like, I don't accept the concept of that private. I'm not this is like Hillary Clinton with her private and public positions. I'm like, Tim, I'm not talking about private and public positions. What I'm saying is we had a personal conversation and then you went and later tweeted about it and tried to weaponize it against me. And he never apologized. If he just apologized or he was like, oh, my bad, we would be fine. And I'm sure I would have appeared on his show. I would have had him back on mine. It's like, it's really not a big deal. It's just kind of common decency, you know? What's another example? I don't know. I was recently emailing with Cenk Uygur. I wouldn't tweet about the things Cenk and I talk about. Or like when Kyle Kalinske texts me, I'm not going to then go to the air and report that to you guys. It's just common decency, you know? It's maybe I'm old-fashioned. Maybe I'm old-fashioned. I don't know. So anyway, good. I'm welcome on his show. I mean, the reason I haven't been on his show is we haven't spoken since this incident happened. That's it. It's just that simple.